Hey, Decide Your Destiny crew, Kyle Sprudies here. Thanks for joining me for another Decide Your Destiny Daily Dose. Decide to be aware of the three big controllers: guilt, shame, and fear. How are these three controllers showing up in your life? And what are they getting you to do? Some would suggest a lot of life for each one of us is trying to get what we want. Trying to get what we want from a deal, a negotiation, a house price, a job, a career, a salary, a relationship, trying to get what we want. And in that, a lot of other people are trying to get us to get what they want. So they're going to use sometimes some of those three big controllers. And it could even be family. It could be your parents. A lot of of the three, parents will use all of them. But maybe sometimes a parent will use more of shame. Maybe sometimes a parent will use more of guilt. You don't love me if you don't do this. You don't really care about me. You're not really thankful of everything I've done if you don't do this. Now, so it's just something to be aware of in your life, because a lot of times you'll just do decisions. You'll just make decisions and you'll just do things that are actually against your moral compass, against your ethics, against who you truly are and how you want to show up in the world because of those three big controllers. Fear. Fear is huge. Fear is used every single day. Fear is probably the biggest one in our day to day. Fear can get someone to do anything, absolutely anything. There's this amazing quote, I can't remember who it was by, but it was, a man would rather go to war than spend 5 years learning why he's going to war. And that's what fear can do. Or guilt or shame. You're shameful if you don't go to war, if you don't pick up the arms and you don't head to war. You're a shame to your family. And what was that thing that they would do back in the day when you didn't go to war? I think they'd give you like a napkin or something, and it meant that you're letting your brothers and sisters die overseas. So be aware of how these elements are showing up in your life. Whether it's you're doing it to yourself, fear is controlling your life because you're too fearful of what people might say if you go out there and lose some weight, or if you go out there and start a new business. How is fear controlling you? And then also in the exterior, how are people controlling you through the use of fear? And also guilt and shame, how is that showing up in your life? How are other people getting you to do things? Because, hey, if you don't do this, then you should be shameful of who you are, and it means you don't care about other people and all these sorts of things. So really be aware of these three controllers and understand if someone's communicating to you, are they communicating using these three? And if they are, acknowledge it and be aware of it and say, hey, I'm more than happy to help you out in this situation, or I'm more than happy to consider your belief system or your thoughts or your perception. However, please don't use guilt to get me to be convinced, or shame to get me to feel terrible about myself so I'll do what you say, or fear to get me to act now. Please don't use these three big controllers. So that would be the message for today. Just be aware of them, be aware of how frequent they show up in your life. Those three will show up many times throughout your day. And as you transcend, as we all evolve, we're going to evolve out of using these motivators and using other motivators. And yeah, sometimes you might need to use it in your own life. Sometimes you might need to use a bit of fear, I might have to use, for my heart health, I might have to use some sort of fear to go, hey, you need to exercise every day, because you don't want that to happen. But just be aware of when these things are used in a positive way and when they're controlling your life and basically, encompassing you, absolutely consuming your life. Be aware of that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Make sure you share this around if you know someone who is being controlled and consumed by fear, shame, or guilt, by exterior forces or by internal forces. Share this around. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, guys, remember, decide your destiny. Cheers.